me say a happy Friday morning to one and all. How's everybody doing this morning? Hope you're having an awesome Friday morning. I'm certainly having a really, really good Friday morning. I want to thank the Almighty for that. Thank Him a whole lot. And I hope that I maintain that particular way that I'm feeling for the entire day. Yeah, I hope He could roll in also into the weekend. Once again, good Friday morning. Those of you via social media platforms, good morning to you. Welcome. Those of you who are at home, you're listening to Classic Radio. You've been with us all morning. Yeah, from, of course, with my good bro Innocent. You've been there. Good morning, good evening. Now you tuned into To The Point. Good morning. We're going to have an open line edition this morning, folks. 435-2041. 435-2041. I haven't really come up with any particular, of course, subject matter that we want us to dive into this morning. So I'm going to leave it up to you, our listeners. Someone could probably stir the conversation up this morning in terms of a conversation that you would like to get going out there, something you want to bring to the fore, and maybe others may want to join in or may feel the same way about you. Someone may have a different opinion to you also, and they may want to share that. So feel free, 435-2041, double the options that I will always say for you to call in via the WhatsApp and also via the direct line, 435-2041. Direct line conversation this morning. Let's get the ball rolling. Let's go to our first call and say good morning. Caller, you're welcome. Good morning, and how are you this morning?
Morning, innocent.
No, well, it's not innocent anymore. Innocent already left, sir.
Hello?
I said innocent already left.
Sorry, morning, GT.
Don't worry, man. No worries on that. How are you doing?
Okay, morning, GT. I said recently that my heart is heavy because so many things are happening, and it seems as though, to some extent, our people are helpless, cowered down. Mm-hmm. But begin by saying that no matter where we stand in relation to the current administration, one has to be something else. If one don't see the injustice in the imposition or the revocation of the visa of the minister, the one named so far, and we probably expect a couple of others. We have to put that in the context of what is happening worldwide, in the sense that this is being done against the judges in the International Court, Criminal Court, and the other court. The International Court get sometimes confused. Not confused, mixed up with the International Criminal Court and the International Court of Justice. But certain judges are under threat. Then in Brazil, you're seeing that. So it's not unlike some people who have written on the current, at least one of the weekly papers about, we could avoid that, something like, we could maybe kowtow to Uncle Sam. This is not something that is logical, what these guys are doing. So to say, well, they need to behave like a little puppy dog so that they don't impose it, they'll do it in any case. Because as they do that, you have a situation where a number of warships on the coast of Venezuela, I think the last article I read saying between 5 and 7, and which prompted an emergency meeting, an extraordinary meeting of ALBA, that's a grouping of the Latin American countries with Cuba and Venezuela and Brazil and others, that have warned against and have called for the area to become a zone of peace, as I did recently, as I reiterated recently, and which I had to insist, because any level of war in our region would create instability, would create, the tension, the anxiety among our people. It will do that. So we need to wake up and say, we cannot take the war. We know that the individual and his courts in Washington, they are not rational people. But we need to put those things in context. It's the oil they want. Unfortunately, countries like Trinidad and Guyana have allowing themselves to be used. I'll stop here for now, GT, and probably come back later.
Sure, appreciate it. Have yourself a good day, sir, and thanks for your contribution. We do have another, of course, caller via the WhatsApp. WhatsApp caller, good morning, welcome. Let's hear from you.
GT, good morning.
Good morning, sir. How you doing?
How you doing? Nice shot, man.
Yeah.
Nice shot, man. This guy is sharp in the United States, you know, guys.
You're always trying to do that to me.
All right, GT, let me ask you a quick question, GT. Based on the latest news that going on in Grenada now, what do you think?
Why are you throwing questions at me? It's an open line, but I'm here to listen to you folks make your contribution this morning.
So far, he's a Grenadian, so I think you open up to a little question.
Let's hear what you want to throw this morning. Let's go.
All right. So far, I was asking you about based on the situation that happening and with Mr. Canwell on the visa. I was just asking your opinion.
Well, under the circumstances, I will prefer not to share my opinion on that at this stage right now, because there's still a wait-and-see approach to see how it will be done in a diplomatic way. You understand?
Oh, I think it's fair enough. Okay, right. I've been listening to a couple of people talking in GT, and I think we're missing the point in the sense because basically what was said, all right, is was concerned about how the Cuban been paid. You understand? And a lot of people have been saying about what Mr. Canwell say and what Mr. Andal say. That have nothing to do with what the United States will do. When the United States targeting, they target you in your finance. Remember, Mr. Canwell is the finance minister, and any money have to pay to the Cuban have to go through the finance department. All right, so basically if they're going to target somebody first, Mr. Canwell will be the first target. If they have to continue with the target, it might be Joseph Andal, and yet it might even be hard to have Mr. Andal away, because remember he have to attend to business in the United Nations, which are different entity, so then I heard people saying about they're going to take Grenadian visa and they're going to do this, they're going to do that. No. The United States will start in the finance first, and based on how negotiation go, then after they're going to move forward. You understand? And then we have to realize, in this day and age, there is virtual, where Mr. Canwell to stay in Grenada and they do it in Zoom. You understand? You could have meetings in Zoom the same way, But you think my main subject for today, I want to touch. Last week I know you maybe watched the celebration of Grenada Day in New York City, all right?
I didn't get the opportunity to look at it. No, I didn't.
I didn't get to. Well,
are you with me, sir?
Okay. Well, basically, what I'm saying. What I'm saying concerning that GT, every year is a fast according to Mr. Rolo, the Pool and Grenadians of here, GT. And I'm gonna say that a lot of people may not like what I have to say, but I'm gonna say it anyway. What they say they're celebrating in New York City is not Grenada Day. It's a bunch of people who come together and trying to raise money and pocket themselves, all right? Grenada Day in Canada and around GT, watch how he celebrated in a park. Nobody have to go and pay money. All right, GT, the first time they start GT, it was $2. Then it come to $5. Then it come to 10. And they jump to 20, all right? Why Grenada have to go and pay $20 to go and celebrate Grenada Day?
So what is it that you are actually having a problem? And is it the cost to pay to go in, or is it the overall organization of the event? Is that you have an issue with?
I have a problem with the whole thing, GT, because when you look at different countries, Guyana, everybody, GT, you know what they do, GT? They assembly in a certain area and they march with the flag, they are drums beating, and they go to the park and they celebrate in a park. For example, we have Seaview. Right? I think this week I'm going to be kayak there, right? And the kayak, they go to Seaview, GT is open, nobody have to pay nothing, the music is free, the food is free, the drink is free, you don't have to pay for nothing, and the same artist that's singing Grenada Day goes back and singing kayak day, and they don't have to get nothing.
So before we take a wrap this morning, just chiming on you for 1 second, before we take a wrap, is that an official Grenada, or is it someone in their private capacity putting on an event? Is this something that is done in an official capacity, or if some group of individuals putting on an event?
Well, basically, that what it seems, GT. And number one, we don't know what happened to the money. Every
Well,
year
no,
they go to a
I'm
park
just
where you
asking
have
you a
to pay.
direct. I'm just asking you a direct question. Is that event an event that is put on, of course, by organizers within Grenada? Is there anything to do with the government, or is it a private grouping that is putting on an event of that nature? Is it just if you could answer that for me?
I don't see nothing with government official being in
All right,
any of the
so you're
events.
saying it's
So
more
then
or
I
less
think
as a
it's,
private grouping that
promoters.
is putting that on.
It's promoter, as far as the information I get, is a group of promoters who is really doing that duty, and they need to stop. If we're celebrating Grenada Day, let me do like the other countries. Puerto Rico, everybody, we march, we go in a park, and we celebrate.
All right,
Going in that little place where they're trying to charge you $20, I think is a fast, and they need to stop.
All right, man. Take it easy. Take it easy. Appreciate it. Caller, you live. Good morning.
Hello, GT. Good morning, and how are you?
Doing great. How are you this morning?
I'm fine, thank you for asking. Okay, I have one observation.
Yes.
To the point of the program, I love very well, and I listen you every morning. However, sometimes you have guests on the program, and sometimes you will have a conversation with them a bit lengthy. It's just a constructive criticism. However, I would just like for you to at least give them if it's 5 minutes, take 5 minutes of their spare time so that you can ask them questions, so we, the people out here, can, listen to them and get feedback from them as to how they think. But otherwise, I think you're doing a good job. That's just my observation.
Thank you, caller.
Have a
good morning, and thanks for your observation. Let's take another caller. Caller via WhatsApp. Good morning. You're welcome.
Hi, morning, GT.
Good morning to you, sir. How are you doing?
Not bad. I just wanted to rather make a contribution. I want to respond to that gentleman before the lady that just was on the program. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Let me just say it plain. When he talks about Grenada Day that just went in New York, it's not no Grenada Day, and about what you have to pay to go in. And from what he heard, or from the report he got, the usual type of nonsense for company. Because obviously he never been. And obviously whoever is feeding him.
Caller, for some reason the quality of your audio seems to be very poor. I'm not sure if you're using a Bluetooth or something on the state, but we are not hearing you clearly in terms of what you're saying.
Okay, let me try again. Is this better?
100%.
Okay, so what I'm saying, just to recap quickly, that caller, the prior caller, the gentleman, does not know what he's speaking about. When he talks about Grenada Day that was just held in New York last Sunday, it's not no Grenada Day. And from what he heard, which means he was not there and he has never been, because this is something that's going in double-digit years. And he says it just seems like a bunch of promoters. So when people like him call on the radio to talk such rubbish, people like me who know better would call in. I actually sit as a local representative here in Grenada for the committee that does Grenada Day. Grenada Day is a non-profit registered organization in New York. The reason they charge, they try to raise funds, right? They try to raise funds for the artists that perform, okay? The artists have to get flights. They try to get, for instance, National Lottery, the Tourism Board, to help sponsor tickets, right? I can tell you in some cases, like last year when Tivoli Drummers went up, you had the additional process where almost every member of Tivoli Drummers, except maybe two, had a visa. So these guys had to go to Barbados to get visas. Luckily, Livingston, for the group, they were able to use group funds to send the guys to Barbados for their visas. And luckily, they all got it, right? They had to seek tickets, either Tivoli Drummers or the Grenada Day committee up there to get the folks over. Or like this year, or like years before when they had Conception Dance Theatre up there. So it's not just about soca artists at all, right? The additional thing is, when Tivoli Drummers were there last year, Conception Dance Theatre years before, or even the soca artists that will be there they will pay the guys a per diem, okay? You pay a per diem allowance. We're giving you about 45 US a day. If we're the ones inviting you up, you have a travel day, you have the performance day, and what's considered the return day, whether or not you decide to stay in New York. So you have to pay 3 per diem allowances of about 45 US a day. Okay? So I don't know where he come with this thing about is a bunch of promoters. And let me tell you, they will invite the Consul General for Grenada in New York, and they will invite other New York state and borough representatives to be present, and especially to give out awards, city awards. They will give awards on stage. It is not just a show. It is not no bunch of promoters and the rubbish that you just spoke about.
All right. Well, I want to thank you for, of course, offering that bit of a clarification, because sometimes you need to hear a different side of the story. You understand? And I'm certainly happy to hear you making that of course, that clarification there in terms of what the previous caller did mention.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you, man. Thank you a whole lot.
Stop
Folks,
people calling with rubbish.
All right, appreciate it, man. Hey, folks, we due for a break. We need to take a break in this segment. When we come back, we certainly will entertain more of your calls. Stay with us. It's To The Point, Classic Radio GBN TV, the open line edition this morning. More of your calls when we return.
Quench your...
Are you ready to take charge of your money, build wealth, and protect your family's legacy? Then join us on October 9th, 2025 at Radisson Grenada Beach Resort for your Financial Future 2.0, Legacy, Literacy, and Liberation, a one-day financial summit designed to break cycles, build wealth, and leave a lasting legacy. You'll gain real-life budgeting hacks, a money mindset reboot, steps to create generational wealth, and practical tips on investing, estate planning, insurance, health, and business finance, all from expert speakers who know how to turn knowledge into action. With 2 inspirational keynotes, 3 powerful panel discussions, and 6 breakout sessions, you will leave with your personalized action plan for success. Don't wait. Secure your seat today. Tickets are easy $350 at disruptiveleadershipconference.com/YFF. Your Financial Future 2.0. Your next chapter starts here.
Grenlec Community Partnership Initiative.
We are here at T-Rose Square. What we've seen here is a very large outpouring of the various bands playing the traditional mass. And this has been made possible through the kind assistance and contribution of Grenlec. So on behalf of Spice Mass, we just want to say a very hearty thank you to Grenlec for this significant contribution.
Grenlec, energizing our community.
Welcome back, listeners. Welcome back, viewers. To The Point, Classic Radio GBN TV. It's Friday, the 22nd today of August 2025. We have an open line edition this morning here on today's program. We go back to the phone line and say good morning to the caller. Caller, you're live. Good morning. You're welcome.
Well, good morning, Mr. Telesford. Greetings. How are you?
Doing great, sir. How are you this morning?
Pretty all right, by the grace of God. Mr. Telesford, I am so disappointed in this here country as a common citizen. When I sit and hear certain things emanating from the mouths of the people who we elected to an extent, and who, through the system, have acquired certain jobs to work in the interest of the people, to be honest with them, to be trustworthy with them, Mr. Telesford, to think before they talk to the people, Mr. Telesford. But whereas some of them see us as Nemos. You know that word Nemo, Mr. Telesford? Huh?
I've heard it before. Yes, sir.
Yeah, there was a movie. That word Nemo is a Latin word for nothing, nobody. And I'm befuddled. I just want to play a little clip here in my moments of what I call creative idleness, I researched certain things. I just thought I'd play back a little of the presentation of the government officials on that hoax of a law that they have recently passed. And I heard the Attorney General make certain statements that is, in truth and in fact, frightening. Mr. Telesford, Grenadians, listen to this.
Obvious one and a no-brainer. And there should be, frankly, no demur to this legislation. There should be, frankly, none. Because we all know it. And if we didn't know it, those of us who didn't know it, should go back and check our history and the various attempts at constitutional reform, going back to 1985 with the commission led by, I think, Mr. Justice Liverpool and Mr. Bristol and that commission, that Constitution Reform Commission. From then, that was what, about 5-6 years after we got independence, and in all the record of consultations, the people of Grenada from since then was the, we don't want to say allegiance to our former.
I'll stop you, Mr. Telesford. Did you hear it at all?
I heard it, sir. I heard it, sir.
Within these 2 or 3 sentences which this individual spoke out, this is what is frightening to me. She made 4 gaffes. Major gaffes. The Attorney General of a country presenting a bill to the Parliament and people of this here country making these gaffes. First of all, she said the first time in Grenada that we attempted constitutional reform was in 1985. That is false. The June Revolution, which was part of Grenada's history, we cannot exempt it. There was an attempt. But of course, the revolution imploded. So that didn't take shape. She also mentioned that in 1985, which was 5 or 6 years after independence, you might say that's the public tongue. I don't accept that because she ought to know what she's saying. She's talking to the public in the parliament of the country. That's false. She said that in 1985, the commission was led by Lord of Nicholas Liverpool et al. That is false. In 1985, the commission was led by Fred Phillips. I think he was from St. Kitts or one of these islands up the road. Huh? Now, what is that? What is that? You get my drift, Mr. Telesford? I'm disappointed. I'm befuddled. This is what you call incompetence, ineptitude, improvisionism. They don't think before they talk. Why? Because they don't respect us. So it doesn't matter what comes from them when it comes to us. I urge these people to be more respectful to the Grenadian people. She was presenting a bill which is in fact a hoax that they dropped on us. She swallowed it hook, line, and sinker. And I ask myself in truth and in fact as I end it, Mr. Gentleman, sir, if these people have ever read the Constitution of Grenada with specific reference to what is concerned, the most important aspect of making modification, alterations as per the Constitution to the provisions of the document. 39.1, I wish they'd studied. Look at it there, brothers and sisters. I want you to read. 39.1, 39.5. I refer to 1 and 5 subsections. Section 101, pardon, 111. Subsection 1, bullet point 8, which refers to the oath of allegiance and what it says there. And of course the 3 schedules. They snatch onto the schedule and run. Mr. Telesford, I would like to ask you an opportunity to present some points to the people of this country. All I'm asking is you give me the opportunity and to get your technical people to put up some screenshots of what is written in the Constitution that they can see for themselves. In addition, the glossary of the United Kingdom Parliament as it relates to the word schedule in legal terms and in contracts to prove that what they did there by snatching the quote-unquote their word low-hanging fruit, running with it, modifying the Constitution without a referendum. They have placed a serious hoax on us. They played, pardon, a serious hoax on us. And we cannot let this happen to give them opportunity for case reference and on them in the future. We have to kill that bill now. That law has become law. I'm happy to that up to now. Nobody knows of anybody. As a matter of fact, nobody knows who signed the bill so that it can be gazetted. This country is going down the tube. I thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, sir.
Read. Thank you very much, sir.
Caller, you're live via WhatsApp. Good morning. Thank you very much. I appreciate your patience. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Let's hear from you.
Hello, Mr. GT. Thank you for having me, and thank you so much for your patience and allowing the folks to give their opinion. And I pause on the word opinion. I think it's very important. While we have to exercise our democratic rights to give our opinion and everyone needs to be heard, that when we go to the wide world public, we actually have some basis to expertise in certain declarative matters. And, with regard to the thing on the news now, with regard to the United States and visa for government officials, revocation and so on, I think only the United States of America, that is the government and the people who make the decisions, like the president and the cabinet and so on, know what they're going to do next. I don't think any of us, unless we're psychic, or we have psychic powers, knows what the United States of America are going to do next. So I don't think we could declare that's only what they're going to do, or this is not what they're going to do. It's interesting to know what's the source of that power, authority we have. As one person said, I think it was quoted, I don't want to misquote the person, so I'm not going to say the name, is that there is the known known, the known unknown, and then there's the unknown unknown. Only the United States of America government, unless we happen to be privy to the deliberation, we're part of cabinet, knows what they're going to be doing next. So I think that's very important. The other thing is, even in negative situations, we as a people, as individuals also, have to figure out a way to turn it into a positive. And COVID has taught us a lot of lessons. There are a lot of activities, including board meetings. I have attended actually board meetings online, virtually, and they could be just as effective. So while there are certain things that you have to be there in person, like if you're an athlete performing in the Olympic game or some sporting event, you have to be there on the track to actually run the race, to compete with your colleagues. But certain things can be done online. People obtain even doctorate degree virtually. And one of the positive things that can come out of that is that when we attend things virtually, it may actually cut down on the cost of travel and accommodation, hotels, and so on. And actually, the host country may actually lose because it'll be less revenue they'll be deriving from hotel stays and so on in their country. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much, and appreciate your contribution. We do have another caller. Caller, you're live. Good morning. Welcome.
Hi, good morning to you, GT, and to your followers.
Good morning to you.
A couple of things. In the matter of the revocation of the visas and so, as I said before, if you're dealing with a very unreasonable, heartless bully, there's probably nothing you can do. You're almost powerless, apart from, of course, the power of God, to do anything about this. But we have to be true to ourselves. We have to show appreciation and gratitude to those who have been kind to us and who continue to help us. And we cannot let other people who are not doing anything for us, in that sense, tell us who we should keep as friends. As I said before, the finger has to be pointed back to us in many cases, because the situation with the Cuban doctors did not have happened if the hundreds of doctors that have been trained under government scholarships in Grenada have returned. We have the highest per capita rate of doctors in the world. No country that size has trained the number of doctors we have trained, but we still have to ask the Cuban government to send in doctors. In addition, they have trained our own doctors too. So I think a lot of the blame has to be cast on we ourselves as people who seem to be ungrateful. Something I heard during the week about with the Minister of the Opposition was speaking about the economy. And we have to be careful about people using primitive naive estimate of the economy. I mean, you're telling me you go to a shop down the road and ask them how they're doing business now, and they say they're doing less business, so the economy is down. How many new shops have been opened? How many new stores in that same time? How many people, what percentage of the people now go to little stores around the corner as opposed to shopping online? So if you want to sit down there doing what you've been doing 25 years ago and think that that's how the world is today, you're going to be left behind. So when you use this kind of primitive measures and say, oh, you ask people and they say business, how many new businesses have been set up in the last 2 years? How many new bars, restaurants, hot spots all around the place? And this is a small population, but there's a lot of them who have set up. Do we know how many business licenses were issued during that time? Another thing we need to do also is to check NIS. How many new persons have been added to the roll? How many? Are we seeing fewer persons? Is NIS getting in less money than they were getting before? Check Rubis GT. Are they selling less petrol or Sol than before? Or more? The people who sell cars. Check the brewery. Are they selling less booze? These are the hard facts that will tell us if the economy is moving forward or if it's stagnated or if it's shrinking. I understand a friend was telling me yesterday, Carnival shows are oversold, not only by foreigners but by locals too. $500 US for an open air show. Grenadians are flocking to it more than the capacity. So come in and say to people, because you go down the road and this person saying they're not getting as much business, so the economy is down. To me, this is primitive, this is naive, and this is so far from reality. There are hard facts we can get if we want to know what is happening in our economy. And it's sad that people are using those primitive measures to confuse those who they think do not know better. Have a good day, GT.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Caller via WhatsApp. Good morning, you're live. Let's hear from you.
Morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, my comment this morning is, I will start with a question. Why is it Grenada is getting tied up in Cuba, America, political ding-dong? And I don't think we should be playing big power politics. No. The Americans under Donald Trump is extremist right-wing politics. Cuba is a communist dictatorship, right? So you can't tell people what government they should set up in the country. But in the case of us Grenadians, we get tied up into extremists. Cuba is an extremist left country, and presently America is an extreme right country. So okay, we have all these CARICOM countries. Why is it Grenada is the one that get tied up in the mistake? And if you look at Grenadians' life standard or the attitude towards life, all the talk they're talking, they are more a Western capitalist attitude of lifestyle. A lot of them are talking they cannot live in Cuba. You sympathizing in Cuba. Yes, Cuba giving Grenada doctors, right? Yes, it's true. But we are not Cubans, we are not American, we are Grenadian. So why are we getting ourselves tied up in all these big international politics? We experienced Cuba and Grenada. They did some good things, yes. But Cuba is a communist country, America is a capitalist country who want to exploit everybody. So we as Grenadians should avoid playing role in this extremist politics. That's all I have to say.
Good caller. Thank you so much for your contribution this morning. Folks, we're due for a break. Let's take it when we come back. We certainly will entertain more of your calls here on today's edition of To The Point. We'll be right back after the break. We'll be pretty...
Sunday, November the 9th from 5 p.m. at the Grenada Trade Center. Legends Promotion presents the 19th annual Hubbard's Legends in Concert featuring the best of Grenada, along with 2 special guest artists. This edition promises to be extra special. Get ready, Grenada, to be blown with surprises at the 19th annual Hubbard's Legends in Concert. Sunday, November the 9th, 5 p.m. Grenada Trade Center. Stay tuned to GBN for more.
As GBN brings you coverage of this year's Republic Bank CPL, there'll be some adjustments to our programming lineup on Tuesday the 19th, right through to Friday the 22nd of August. Transitions will be from 5:05 p.m. GBN TV News will be from 6 p.m. and repeated right after the CPL match. Transitions will be rebroadcast after the GBN News Repeat. GBN, with you anywhere and everywhere with sports coverage.
Legacy, I beat that don't stop like Bob Marley said. One love on top. These sewage water out of sight, but it's always wrong. Don't lose the light. From factories and wells so deep, cut off mangroves and fish they weep. Grey water for the garden, keep it green. Save the cash and the earth gets clean. We use the water with a mindful mind. It's out of sight but never far behind. In nature, the answers always flow. Like water running pure, the cycle grows. It renews itself, same drop, same.
Hey, that's what we say. Welcome back, listeners. Welcome back, viewers, to The Point. Classic Radio, GBN TV. Open line edition for today, Friday. Our final edition for this week. So let's go back to the phone line. We have a caller via the WhatsApp. WhatsApp caller, you're live. Good morning.
With your permission, just give me 30 seconds.
Go right ahead, please.
I've been to all the Grenadian shows and them, and the Grenada Day, basically GT, from $2 to $10 and a stop. It's only this year I did not show up because of they raised it to $20. GT, I would like them to tell us how much money they make, what they do with the money, and how much money they pay the artists. Because GT, I've been to Trinidad Day, I've been to Guyana, everything. I've been in the park, GT, they bring up the artists too. And all the artists sing in the park, in an open park, GT. That's what I'm talking about. If we want to celebrate Grenada Day, let us assemble in one place with our flag, with whatever. You know what I mean? And then we go in a park and we celebrate. But Grenada is the only country where they say they're celebrating Grenada in a place where you have to pay, GT. That's what I'm talking about.
All right.
Why can't we be like the others? You understand?
All right, Ben. Thanks for...
Thank you, GT. And when this guy is ready to come and tell us how much money they make, then I'll start supporting it. But for now, asking people to boycott it.
Thank you. Have a good day, man. Have a good day. Have another caller. Caller, you're live. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, GT.
Good morning to you, sir.
Let me apologize. I don't know if I was connected earlier because I have a son that was giving a little bit of trouble. So if I was connected, I'm sorry.
Go right ahead, please. Go right ahead.
Yeah, I want to address something. I heard, and it came from two persons. Firstly, I heard it from Peter David, and only, I think it was yesterday, I was listening to a clip, and Emmeline Pierre was making the very sad comment. GT, I don't know if the GBN has a copy of the proposed legislation that has been dealing with the the age of consent for medical attention for minors. And tell me if I'm wrong. I don't know if GBN have a copy of that you may avail yourself to in terms of the information therein. But does the law intend to change the consensual age of sex? Or is it for sexual treatment, whatever, whether it's for whatever disease they may have or whatever contraceptive, whatever? Is it the changing of the age consent for sex or other things? I would, if someone has the information out there, because I don't believe that is what I heard originally in terms of the intent of the bill. But from what I heard from those two individuals, it seems to be sending double signal as to the intent of the bill. So I don't know if you have any information regarding that. Please share it with the public, because I'm at a loss. Trust me. I will not make any further comment because I don't know the information. But please, if you can furnish us with that information so we can have a better sense of what is happening. Thank you and have a good morning.
Thank you, caller. Thank you. And I will see what could be done in reference to that. We do have another caller via WhatsApp. WhatsApp caller, you're live. Good morning. Welcome.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
I will continue to call on the traffic department to deal with the vehicles parking on the sidewalk. There is a vehicle that parks on the southern main road, just around the College, Captain Harris area. Now, there are a lot of persons who do the exercises on mornings, and they have to serve onto the carriageway to avoid to get around, and the way drivers drive on that southern main road early morning is unbelievable, exposing the persons, the pedestrians to danger. So I'll call on the traffic department to please deal with the sidewalk parking. Another thing, I don't know what is happening to the Ministry of Infrastructure, but this green fencing that was erected between the Silver Sand and the Woodruff Corner on the southern main road. I mean, how could a project be allowed to place the barrier on the pavement, on the sidewalk? Why not on the property? The sidewalk is a public zone. So why was it allowed to be erected there? I would really, really, really like something to be done into these things, please.
Thank you, caller, and thank you for expressing your concerns there. Thank you so much. We do have another caller. Caller, you're live. Good morning. Welcome.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
Gigi, glad to know that you're having yourself a wonderful day. Let us not lose focus with all that is going on in Grenada. The bottom line is, Mr. Connell is a big man, and Kings, he is resilient, and everything will work out eventually. The government, as you know, our Prime Minister, he got good negotiative skills, and everything will happen and will work out for the betterment of Grenada. What we have to do as a nation is to rally behind our people. What we have to do is focus on the important issues that we need to focus on in Grenada right now, like our health, housing, education, and our liberty every single day. And that is what the government is working on right now. And that is why they have the passion to make sure Grenada go forward. When things happen, what we should do as a nation is look at innovative ways to make Grenada even a better place than how it is. For example, make maybe more better deals in terms of all the doctors that study here and so forth, that come from the United States and different parts of the world, better negotiative skills, and let some of the same students from Grenada get better opportunities, increase the numbers, make negotiative skills with the University School of Medicine. So Grenadian doctors, we can have that more. And the bottom line is, GT, is that you're hearing a lot of political posturing, a lot of twistings of words by different people, and which is wrong, because sanction is totally different to what they're saying. If they're preventing other people from having a visa to go to America, it's not sanctions for everybody. And they're making it look as if, well, the whole of Grenada, they're stopping the whole of Grenada from getting a visa to go to America. But we have to keep on rallying behind the government. They're doing their best to make sure Grenada are educated. Grenadians are educated. They're doing a lot of things in terms of the salaries. Of course, the pension and the gratuity, the increase and stuff like that. And the government is doing all that. So let us focus on the most important thing, which is putting forward Grenada and making Grenada a better and safer place, which the government is doing thus far under the leadership of Deacon Mitchell.
Thank you, caller. Thank you, caller. Thank you. Caller via WhatsApp. Good morning. You're welcome. Let's hear from you.
Yeah, DT, I felt compelled to call back because I think we get things mixed up. Now, there are certain things that is non-negotiable. In the process of life, there's certain things you don't negotiate. And when it comes to our connection with Cuba, particularly for what Cuba have done for us, there should not be talking about negotiating what? Some dictate from somebody who have not shown any interest in us. In fact, what I'm hearing from some people is that we should go back to the stage where we sided with the apartheid South Africa in the 80s because we wanted to satisfy the U.S., the same U.S. who after Grenada and Indonesia had this agreement, nutmeg agreement, causing Indonesia, forcing Indonesia to withdraw, which caused a collapse of the mega industry at a time. Even though Grenada was a client state of the U.S., people don't understand the nature of the animal. So we had to not about where this is getting big power politics. This is not getting involved in big power politics and so on. This is about principles. We have a stain on us. The reason why Nelson Mandela didn't come to Grenada, he was advised, look, these folks voted in support or abstained in support of apartheid. And of course, we know I accept those folks who did it at the time were so stupid, but I think by and large they were trying to please Uncle Sam. And why we should try to go ahead and please Uncle Sam when life is much beyond Uncle Sam and them. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much. We do have another caller. Caller, you're welcome. Good morning.
Hello, good morning, GT.
Good morning to you.
And how are you?
Doing great. Let's hear from you.
I'm all right, GT. I'm enjoying CPL. Oh my God, both teams are enjoying the bowling, the batting, the feeling. It's excitement, and that is what cricket really means to be to every listeners. I love it.
All right.
GT, I just want to give NNP a little thumbs up and NDC a little thumbs up. NNP like to have the project in the pipeline, and NDC like to take it out from the pipeline. So both of them working. I want to praise them for taking out the light program in the pipeline in Progress Park, especially Telescope, my little village. NNP had this lighting system buried in the pipeline for how much years? But NDC come now and we see they digging the ground and taking out the pipeline, and we seeing movement for the light in Progress Park and in the light in Telescope. So thumbs up to both parties. Are really working for the people. Thank you, GT. Have a wonderful weekend.
You too, caller. Have yourself a great day, and best wishes goes out to you. Hey, folks, it's an open line edition for To The Point this morning. We have approximately 7 minutes or so left on today's program. We go back to the phone line and say good morning to the caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome.
JT, how are you doing? You good, my friend?
100% this morning.
Right. Well, I hope you have a nice weekend. How was your carnival?
It was good. It was good. It was good.
You didn't play jab now?
No, I didn't.
No, because when I look at a sea on the television and Mr. Martin, I had to talk about this in the next thing, the amount of cruelty to animals that was displayed this year. I mean, I can't understand how somebody could be part of that a culture where the cruelty to animals is practiced, and when you're telling them that they're jumping up on you, Anyway, I have to deal with that next time, so I'm not happy at all. To all you beautiful people, residents of the constituency of South St. George, the Great Shout, I am pleased to announce the scheduled homecoming arrival of your parliamentary representative, the one and only, the most beloved, the most honorable Andy Williams. elections this Saturday, the 23rd, supposedly having successfully conducted matters of the state on behalf of Deacon. Simultaneously advising further that that this arrangement is subject to change at any time without prior notification. In other words, you'd think he might be coming, but he mightn't come. Because it's courtesy that when he goes, he notifies his constituents, and when he comes back, he notifies them of his arrival. That is courtesy. And I wish others will follow like him. Finally, let me again express on his behalf for him being unavoidably absent for his previously 2 consecutive walk-through visitations, but he will be, as a matter of fact, let me tell you something, he will, when he comes back, he will be able to go and have his constituency walk about. So all are advised to keep listening, and I will advise people when he'll be in his constituency, because he's not in the office, he's walking about to see people. So as soon as the information is passed to me, I will tell you when he'll be in that area. So all constituents, please ask to take note, and please be advised accordingly, because this is what I like. That this is what I like. Your representative must come to you instead of you have to beg to see them. It is time we stop that nonsense, and I have to applaud the most honorable Andy Williams. He's the most beloved and most popular politician in Grenada today. Thank you, my friend. Have a great day.
Thank you also. Have a great day yourself. I hope you have a great weekend to come. 435-2041, 435. I think I'll forego the break until we wrap today's program. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller Live, good morning, welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Telesford.
Good morning to you, sir.
And a pleasant morning to your listening audience. Mr. Telesford, oh God, don't tell me that is what we come to. Homecoming for a public servant that we are paying to conduct business on our behalf. That is what we come to, Mr. Telesford. Not in 2025. Now, listen to this. When you cannot defend the inefficiency of the government, not blame the NNP. Because, listen to this, Mr. Telesford. The NDC told us clearly, it is well documented, it's an audio, that the worst program that was initiated by the former administration was the CBI program. They said that once they get into office, they're going to shut it down. Because scholars say we're selling out our patrimony, we're selling out our birthright. And today, after 3 years in office, you have more ministers of government and government officials involved in selling passport. They have sold more passport in 3 years than the former government selling 10 years. Mr. Cardo, and that is hypocrisy? No. America is a dying empire. Some may not believe. Just like Spain, France, Germany, Italy, Portugal, they're a dying empire. And we have to be careful how we handle them, because we know a dying empire could be quite ruthless. Just imagine that. We are getting a small country, island. We are getting some assistance from Cuba to help fulfill our medical needs here. They want to sanction us. They want to sanction government ministers. And at the same time, we are here and we're seeing them giving all the assistance to the butcher in Israel, Netanyahu, and the IDF, giving them all the assistance to slaughter the Palestinians, to slaughter women and children, to slaughter old people, to tell people move from St. George's to St. David, and then when you go to St. David, they bomb you in St. David. The apartheid regime in South Africa, before, we see them support them whole scale. In Chile, at the end there was a democratically elected president. They kill him, they overthrow him. And today, look at how these people want to operate with small island like us that is just trying to survive. The empire is dying, and we have to be careful how we handle a dying empire. Have a pleasant weekend, GT.
You too, sir. Have a good one. And thank you so much. We may be able to accommodate one more call if it comes really quickly, and we do have that call, so let's take it. Will be my final caller for the morning. Caller, you're live. Good morning.
Good morning, GT. Good morning to your listeners and to your viewers. I just want to send out a challenge out there, right? I would like those persons who are listening to my voice right now, I want to send a challenge out to you, especially to those who do not listen to, watch, or follow international news, right? Pay attention to the week that's coming. Sorry, I'm trying to speak fast. Pay attention to what's going on in the land, America itself. Pay attention to what the government is doing to its own people. Don't just listen to one news channel. Follow up the news, and then I'm sure some of you will understand what is taking place. So don't just sit in Grenada. Don't just sit in Grenada and just assume things. Pay attention, listen to the news, and then your story may change. Thank you.
Caller, thank you very much, and I appreciate your call, and you are my final caller for the morning. I want to thank all who called in this morning, share their views, of course, bring certain issues to the fore. I want to thank you a whole lot for that. It was really an interesting week we had thus far, and this is our final program for this week, which means, well, until next week, we'll have another. This is my final day. You'll hear me for the week also. Join me again on Monday, once the Almighty permits, health, strength, and everything else. I will be back with you on for another edition of To The Point. So until then, have a great weekend to come, folks. That's why I say goodbye for now.